What's going on, guys? So I'm working on the 55 a little bit there, but I ordered some parts for the Chevelle that came in, so I'm going to work on that a little bit today. I ended up getting a hood pin kit. I got a little SS badge for the Grille and the stripe kit. So that's what I'm going to do right now. When you do the Grille, the SS cars were a little bit different. So this is where the SS badge is going to go. This silver part and up on the sides is actually body color, so I'm going to take the Grille out, paint that body color, and the rest of the Grille is just black. So I'll pull all this little trim off, which actually just kind of pops off pretty easily. It's already kind of half off all the time. So I'll pull the Grille out, I'm going to fog that all black, and while that's drying I can mess with the hood pins, which are actually kind of cool, these Chevelles. So this is where they end up going. There's a little kind of embossed area, and right in the hood, looks like this right here is where the pins go through, so they have a little bit of a slot, so as it drops down it'll fit in. So I'll probably put those on and see where the weather's going to go. Hopefully it'll be decent, because I'd like to start masking out these stripes and lay them down in the car. So that's what I'll be doing right now. Alright, so real simple. Got the Grille out. There was just 6 screws to hold in. I used to take the kind of headlight doors off. Little SS thing just slides in, so that'll be fine. It's notched just like the bow tie was. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off this stainless. The SS cars all had the stainless just on the outside, not the centerpiece there. They had the little Chevelle emblem. But like I said, this part here that goes around was all body color, so I got that touch-up paint. So I'll do that and mask everything else off, and then I just got to paint the grills because they were black, and then put the trim back on, leave the centerpiece out, put the SS emblem on, and put it all back together. So that should make a pretty big difference in a hurry. So I'll start peeling all this stuff off, get it masked up, and show you what I'm talking about. So there we go. Grille's all stripped down, all the stainless is off the side there, and I pulled the little Chevelle emblem out. So now I'm just going to scuff up in here a little bit and fog it green and black. So I got a couple coats of paint on the Grille. Let that set up for a little bit there, and while I was waiting I ended up putting these hood pins in. They already have a little pad where they're supposed to be if you would have got the option, and the hood's actually already got this little oblong hole on both sides, so as it goes down it fits in mint. So that's that. All I'm going to do is dab a little bit of grease on top, close the hood, see where it touches, and start drilling through. So I've got it drilled through. Both the pins are sticking out, so it worked out pretty good. The next thing is to come with this little rubber gasket and then the actual piece. But you can see it's got a lot of space, so I'll just kind of center that up. But at the end of the day, this is a 3/4 hole, so I have just a unit bit that goes to 3/4. So I'll drill that out on the hood side to 3/4, and that'll be perfectly centered. Then I can just kind of put these how I want it. I think they're like that. Drill it in, and then all I gotta do is put the little straps in. Worked out pretty good. So hood pins are both done. Got a little piece in there. These screws are a little funny, they kind of stick up, but maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I've reverse masked it now, so the black is masked and everything else isn't. So I'll fog that green a couple of coats and then take it all apart and let it dry. So here it is unmasked. It's got a little bit of overspray on just the edges, but that's going to have the trim on it, so it should be good enough. So I'm going to let it set up for a little bit, then I'll put the stainless all back on, put the SS emblem on there, and put it back in the car. So I've got all the stainless back on. Danny's painting a little Chevelle emblem. I just got to put the SS through, and then this is basically ready to go back on the car. So I got the Grille back together, looking pretty minty. Got my paint consultant over, so we're going to try and lay out the stripes. So we'll see how that turns out. Alright, snafu. So I tried to put these stripe kit on. Turns out the stripe kit was just the front and the back, and you got a mask in between. So it didn't work out well at the back because the cowl hood obviously doesn't have the vents, which lesson learned. And the front, I was putting it on, and as I was peeling it off, just nothing was sticking. So I squeegeed it all out, but still it's just barely on there. So my fear is when I paint it, it's all gonna bleed through. And really, now that I have it, I peel it off, I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna use it as a stencil. I'll just get some of this kind of fine line tape, and I think I'm just gonna do it myself and use this as a stencil. Because it was just, it went so sideways in a hurry, and I'm really concerned I don't want to put the white on and then have it bleed in the rest of the paint and then try and get it off. Will be a nightmare. So that's that. Definitely didn't go that well. So I'm going to clean this off and be done with it. I'm stoked on the grill though. That made a big difference with the grill and the pins. The car's got a bit of a look to it. I'm still waiting on the bumper SS stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to put the SS badges on the side or not, because it all adds up in a hurry. Everything's 25 bucks, 25 bucks. So we'll see. But I think that's where I'm going to leave this car for now. I'll get it all cleaned up and stuff and then start driving it. And I'll probably work on the 55 a little bit here. I want to try and jam this oil pan in and do a few things like that. So I'll take a little dinner break and be back and do that. Alright guys, so I'm back going to work on the 55 here. So the exhaust is all done. That's where I left it off last time. I know I've been kind of delinquent on working this thing, but the old Chevelle grabbed some attention. So I grabbed some parts from the guy building the motor. I did the oil pan back so it would clearance all the steering and everything. New oil pump with the small car pickup and all that there. And then I got the oil pump drive. Then I just took some parts. This is off the the truck pan, so it's a giant pan. I had to get the bolt hole up, so I'm going to slide under there. I don't think I took anything else off, so I'm hoping I can just kind of slide up the oil pump and the drive, bolt it in, clean up around there a little bit. I'm hoping I can slide in the oil pan, but I'm not too sure. I mean, it looks like I should have some room. I might have to lift the motor up or something, but I got a gasket kit, so I mean, I'm just going to silicone that up, slap that in. That'll be the bottom side done. I mean, the exhaust is on, and it's where it's going to be, so I'm hoping I'll just put in the gaskets right at the head and the collectors. I don't know if I have any valve cover gaskets. I do have an intake gasket and stuff. I got to clean all this shit up and roll it over, find top dead center, dump in a distributor, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. I just want to hear this thing make a little noise. I never even ran it, so there's a few plugs I think I gotta plug up for maybe like oil, and there's water and some stuff like that. But hopefully I'll get some work done tonight, maybe even tomorrow. I'd like just to fill the float bowls, hot wire it, crank it, and have it make a little bit of noise. So that'll be motivating. And then I can decide what I want to do for a radiator, if I can actually use this water pump, if I need like a short snout one or something like that. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I guess I might need a set of plugs. I'm pretty sure I broke some of these. But just the basics, right? So I'll get cleaned up on this pan, see if I can get this pump in, bring you guys back and show you the progress I make. Alright guys, so making progress. I bought a gasket kit for this thing, an oil pan gasket kit. It was underneath. Actually seemed not too bad. I'll just show you here. So I have to have the clip closed, so it's kind of dark under here. I dropped the suspension, or the steering down. I managed to get the oil pump and drive in, so that's all good. I just gotta torque the bolt. And I test fit, so when I took this down, I can actually fit the oil pan in and up. So that's pretty good. I got it somewhat cleaned up. I'll just give it a quick hose down with some brake cleaner, and then I'll start putting on that new gasket. That should be able to slide this pan on, bolt it up, and yeah, be done under here, that's for sure. So just cleaning up the pan, I figured I'd show you guys this. So this is the car pan, and I ended up chopping a couple inches out of it, and you can just see how big the sump is. And this is the truck pan that was on that motor, so you can just see it would have needed to be notched like crazy. So that's why I did that. So yeah, pretty simple. The truck pan's got a center drain, got a side drain on that. I just cleaned the rim up and everything, so it's pretty much ready to go in. Like I said, I'm just going to let that dry off under there, just blast with some brake cleaner, and torque the oil pump real quick, and I'm ready to go. Alright, well, I got the intake gasket out, so that can only mean that I'm done on the oil pan, which was a nightmare, but that's how she goes. So I got it on, so everything worked out pretty good. It was real tight getting in there, but it's on, so that's good. All I gotta do next is try and fit a fuel pump in there, which is a little tricky, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out. Yeah, go from there. Oh. Okay, so I'm up on the top side there. I don't have any silicone. I used the last bit on the oil pan, and I like to silicone the intake, so I'm not going to do that till I get tomorrow. I don't have any valve cover gaskets, so I got to get those tomorrow, so that's kind of at a standstill. I do have the full kit of exhaust gaskets, so I got the head and the collector, so I could put those together, and I got the special header bolts. I pulled a couple of plugs. Looks like I'll be able to get all of them out because I'm going to put a new set of plugs in this motor. Might as well while I'm at it. So I'll do that tomorrow as well. Get a new set of plugs, and then I got to get some miscellaneous pipe plugs and stuff for some oil galleys. There's one for coolant. That should be that. I got to put starter in, which I have, and figure out what I want to do up here. And I mean that's pretty much that. I end up I bought this Jess James keychain, so if you win that, you get to go down Texas work with him. So I welded it to the header for good luck, because if I win, I'm building a set of headers for this thing, because these things are madness. So yeah, I'll put these on and bring it back, show how it turned out. It'll look pretty much the exact same, I'm not gonna lie to you, it'll just be a bunch of work for me. Okay, so all the fancy little bolts are in. Got everything all kind of dialed in there. Let's walk around the other side. I don't fit with the tilt front end. This side was actually much easier. The driver's side's a real pain, but all together looking good. But it's about midnight. I'm gonna call it for the night. I got a list of stuff I need for tomorrow, miscellaneous intake stuff, and yeah, some gaskets and all. I'll be back at it and hopefully get this thing buttoned up. What's going on, guys? So next day, weather's been kind of junk. It's been raining on and off there. The Grille looks pretty sweet though. So back out in the garage, obviously. I went and got a few parts. Got some spark plugs, some more silicone because I ran out. Got some all-thread rod and some fasteners and a few pipe plugs and stuff for miscellaneous stuff in the motor, intake and all that gasket. I needed the all-thread rod because I got the chrome piece for the hood, which is going to go on the front end from a buddy. But it fits a little different with the fiberglass. I need to extend the mounting. I guess like the all-thread rod needs to be a little longer there, and I can kind of attach it on. So I guess I'll put the front end forward and start taking the intake and the carburetors and all that off. I think they're sitting on there. And yeah, start putting some gaskets in, putting it together more permanently. Okay, so intake, valve covers off. Scraped everything down, then I hit it just with a roll-lock disc real quick so it's all nice and clean, and then went through and chased all the threads on the intake. Might be a little overkill. I hate trying to get the intake manifold bolt started all the time, so I always tap it to make life a little easier. Standard Felpro oval port gasket intake kit. Don't want to lose this. That's for your distributor. I mean, you got your two intake gaskets. It'll say this side up on it, front and back for the intake rubber. I usually don't use those. Just schmoo silicone in there, two gaskets, intake manifold on, and bolt the sucker down. So yeah, I'll get started on that. Kind of, I don't know, pretty simple. So the intake manifold's on, I'll bolt it down. I tightened up all the carb studs. I dropped in a distributor just because I had to take the cap off and everything. Once the carburetor's on, the float bolt's gonna be back there, it's never gonna really go in that easy. So I got it in there. If I have to, like obviously it's not going to be timed properly, so I'll just have to kind of pop it out a little bit, spin it where I want it, and drop it back in. And same thing, I'm going to have to screw around the, that's where the wiper motor's going to go. So it's definitely a little cramped for space in there. But next step, I split the carburetors off with some brake cleaner, put on a new set of gaskets, plop those on there, clean up the valve cover mating surface a little bit so it's not all oily, and bolt those suckers down too. So lots of progress. Alright guys, so it's all back together. I mean, it looks exactly how it looked before, other than everything is bolted down properly with gaskets and everything there. Just got a few things left to do. I got to crawl under, I said plug up a few of those pipe plugs I have, starter in it, get some sort of battery, hot wire it in some sort of way. But it's actually Father's Day and I'm done for the day. So that's the end of this video. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe to it, tell all your friends, and next time I plan on making this thing make a little bit of noise, so that'll be an exciting video in the next few days.